Hi guys, my name is Jennifer Yusufovich, and my research proposal was using the user gratification theory. One of the reasons I chose user gratification theory is because it's so diverse and it has expanded and continued to grow as our culture and technology have continued to grow. So the theory wasn't actually founded until 1970, but in the 1940s, there were several studies done comparing radio listeners and what sort of gratification they sought from listening to the radio. So, whether they were listening to escape everyday life, whether they were listening to learn, whether they were listening to fantasize, they were choosing specific things to listen on the radio at specific times based off of the gratification that they were getting from it. Like I said, in 1973, the theory actually was formulated and it continued to expand from there, continuing to tie into our culture. So then it expanded when the internet came about, and it looked into why we used the internet and what we sought from it. And then social media came in and it looked at why we use these mobile devices and why we so badly associate with certain social media platforms, right? We all have a favorite, unless you're like my fiance and have zero social media. I don't know how he does it, you guys. But most of us are tied to something, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. There is something, and there is a reason we follow a certain person, we like certain videos or certain dances, certain decorations. There are things that just we gravitate towards because they bring us joy and pleasure. The thing with user gratification theory is that it's about making us feel better. We seek these things out for ourselves. So we're not seeking them out because they make us feel sad or because they make us feel bad. We're seeking them out because they bring some sort of level of gratification to us, right? Like they make us feel better. Now, you could dig deeper and apply different studies and different theories into also the negative impacts, but that is not what I did. So, like I said, the theory has continued to progress. It looked into video game streaming and just general online streaming services. It looks at why education has moved towards devices, right? Like all my kids, I am a high school teacher, they all have a laptop. Most of them cannot do their work unless I let them listen to Spotify. So there are reasons for these things. So my research proposal was going to dig deeper into that connection between user gratification theory and education and how we can use user gratification theory to find out what is getting people's attention and then apply that into education, because kids are getting bored and we're falling behind. Education is lacking in our country. My state personally is ranked really low, and we want kids to want to go to school. And there are ways to learn where we can incorporate the internet, where we can incorporate social media concepts. I'm not saying let's use TikTok in the classroom, but we could have something very similar set for education to help our kids continue to develop. And let's face it, this is just how they learn. Like most of my kids have been glued to this since they were born. Okay? Most of my kids had tablets growing up. They had phones. They had their parents' phones. They had computers. In kindergarten, you get your own Chromebook. And that's that. Like, you have that for the rest of your education. So they are a part of that generation where this is a bigger deal to them than it is to the rest of us. Because for the rest of us, these things came in chunks and pieces, and they were just born into it. So I wanted to go about my research two ways. I wanted one to do interviews, and these interviews would be with a wide range of people, right? Like, I wouldn't stick to a specific age or one age group, right? You'd want to look at everyone within the education age group. I wanted cultural and diverse groups because, again, we're not all the same, so we don't all learn the same. But I wanted to also know if our culture and our background played a larger role in user gratification than what we have found. There is not a lot of research on the culture background concept. And then my other option was going to be very extensive, large surveys, again, to that educational age group and to a diverse cultural background. So that's a little snippet into user gratification, and then just how it ties into education, but also how we could tie it more into education to help our kids. Let me know what you guys think, and if you have any advice, even though the paper was already turned in. And good luck.